competitive.
Competitiveness.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him.
Okay, damn. All right, I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Jay-Z's assault accuser has just admitted on tape that he never touched her. But instead of walking away, he's suing her for $20 million, while his lawyers allegedly strong-arm her into silence. Everyone assumed this was over when the case collapsed, until a leaked recording revealed the woman telling investigators, "He was just there. He didn't do anything." Meanwhile, her own lawyer now stands accused of pushing her to lie. Yet Jay-Z's team isn't backing down. They're escalating. Right now, sources confirm his legal threats have shifted from the courtroom to a shadow war, targeting not just the accuser, but the man turning her recanted words into a viral weapon, 50 Cent. He posted an AI-generated video of Jay-Z in handcuffs with the caption, "I want to post this, but I'm afraid I'm going to get shot," before deleting it. Too late, it's everywhere. The lawsuit demands $20 million in damages. The Super Bowl deal hangs by a thread. Beyoncé's team is scrubbing mentions from press releases, and a second accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, the same man representing Diddy's victims, just called the whole thing a blatant lie, while Jay-Z's attorney fires back that the tape speaks for itself. So why is a billionaire who claims he's innocent spending more energy silencing critics than clearing his name? Because the recording isn't the real problem, it's what comes next. 50 Cent isn't just trolling. He's compiling footage for a documentary his team claims will drop before Diddy's trial, and Jay-Z's lawyers are reportedly offering 8-figure settlements to shut it down. That's not the move of a man who thinks he's winning.
Don't trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
The moment the recording of Jane Doe admitting Jay-Z never touched her surfaced, his team should have let it fade. Instead, they filed a $20 million defamation lawsuit against her and her attorney, Tony Busby, the same lawyer now representing multiple women in Diddy's ongoing legal battles. That's not the move of someone confident in their innocence. It's the move of a man who believes the next accusation is already coming. The lawsuit, filed in late December, claims the false allegations cost Jay-Z's company Roc Nation contracts worth $20 million annually, a number so precise it suggests this was never about justice, but about sending a message. But here's where it stops making sense. If the case was a lie, why did Jane Doe stick to her story in a sworn declaration before suddenly withdrawing it with prejudice, meaning she can never refile? Her explanation, that she dropped it out of fear of Jay-Z's fans and intimidation from his team, should have ended the conversation. Instead, it's the part people can't stop talking about.
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right?
What's being whispered now is that the real target wasn't Jane Doe at all. Busby, the lawyer who allegedly pushed her to name Jay-Z, isn't just some ambulance chaser. He's the same attorney who secured a settlement for Cassie Ventura in her abuse case against Diddy, and he's currently representing at least 3 other women in Diddy's upcoming trial. That's not a coincidence. Industry sources say Jay-Z's lawsuit isn't about clearing his name. It's about cutting off Busby's credibility before Diddy's trial starts in May, where clients are expected to testify about parties, punishments, and a culture of silence allegedly involving some of hip-hop's biggest names. And that's when the story starts to bend. If Jay-Z was never at those events, why is his name in the same lawsuits? Why did his team react so aggressively to a case that was already falling apart? And why, when asked about the recording, did his attorney Alex Spiro tell ABC News, the tape speaks for itself, while simultaneously suing the woman who made it?
They don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, They don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brand. That's why a lot of those rappers...
The answers might lie in what happened next. On December 10th, as the lawsuit was still making headlines, 50 Cent posted an AI-generated video on Instagram showing Jay-Z in a tuxedo at a party, suddenly handcuffed by officers and led away in shame. The caption read, "I want to post this, but I'm afraid I'm going to get shot face with tears of joy. He deleted it within hours, but not before it spread across Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube, racking up millions of views. That's when Jay-Z's team reportedly made their first move, phone calls to 50 Cent's camp demanding he stop. But 50 Cent didn't ignore them, he doubled down. A few days later, he posted a distorted image of Jay-Z as a camel with the caption, "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it." Then posted it anyway. The message was clear: this wasn't trolling, it was a declaration of war. And this is where people start asking questions. 50 Cent isn't some random critic. He has a documented history of turning rap beefs into media empires. Now he's teasing a documentary that he claims will expose not just Jay-Z, but the entire system that protects men like him. Sources say the project is already in post-production, digging into everything from the dropped lawsuit to Jay-Z's past associations with Diddy, whose legal troubles have already dragged in names like Beyoncé and LeBron James. But here's the part that doesn't add up. If 50 Cent doesn't have real evidence, why is Jay-Z's team allegedly offering 8-figure settlements to shut the project down before it even drops? That's not how you handle a bluff. That's how you handle a threat.
We haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
But the real tension isn't about the Super Bowl. It's about what happens when you pull on this thread. Because the moment Jay-Z's team started threatening lawsuits, 50 Cent didn't back off. He began posting throwback photos of Jay-Z and Diddy together with captions like, "Friends till the end. Jay, you still there?" That's not just a dig, it's a signal. And the question no one is answering is this: if Jay-Z had nothing to do with Diddy's alleged crimes, why is he acting like a man caught in the crossfire? The recording was supposed to end this. The lawsuit was supposed to bury it. But the way 50 Cent is moving, it's starting to look like neither of those things were ever the point. Then there are the Jeffrey Epstein files. In early February, a batch of newly unsealed documents from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation included a single mention of Jay-Z in connection to a 1996 tip about Harvey Weinstein. No charges, no corroboration, just a name in a file. Most outlets dismissed it as irrelevant. 50 Cent did not. Within hours of the files dropping, he announced on Instagram that his documentary would now include a deep dive into Jay-Z's missing years, the period in the late 90s when he was rising in the industry but few outside New York knew his name. Because the real damage here isn't what Jay-Z did, it's what he saw, who he knew, and what he spent the last 2 decades making sure never came out.
There's a lot of people, 50, I feel like he don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh shit, 50's coming.
The problem isn't the allegations. It's the pattern. First, the assault case that wasn't. Then the AI meme that shouldn't have mattered. Now the Epstein file mention that no one else cares about, except the man suddenly very interested in Jay-Z's past. And that's before the whispers about Beyoncé. Insiders say she's been checking news updates daily, not because she's worried about her husband, but because she's waiting to see if her name gets pulled into Diddy's trial. If it does, the carefully constructed image of the Carters as America's royal family doesn't just take a hit, it collapses. And that's the part that has Jay-Z's team moving differently now. Because this isn't about one lawsuit, one meme, or one documentary. It's about the fact that, for the first time in 20 years, the man who controlled the narrative isn't in control anymore. Then there's the elevator incident. In 2014, Solange Knowles attacked Jay-Z in a Met Gala elevator, a moment caught on camera that was never fully explained. The official line was that it was a private family matter resolved quietly. But people there that night always said it wasn't about Rachel Roy's dress. It was about something Jay-Z said or did that crossed a line even Beyoncé couldn't ignore. Now, with allegations resurfacing and 50 Cent digging into Jay-Z's past, insiders say Solange's rumored tell-all isn't just about infidelity, it's about what she knows from years when Jay-Z and Diddy's circles overlapped.
How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Here's what's being said privately. Solange's silence wasn't about loyalty to her sister, it was about a deal. Beyoncé allegedly convinced her to stay quiet to protect the family's image, but the agreement had an expiration date. If Beyoncé ever walked away, Solange would be free to speak. And right now, with Jay-Z's name tied to lawsuits, AI memes, and a documentary that could drop any day, people close to the situation say Beyoncé is recalculating. Because this isn't just about Jay-Z's reputation, it's about hers. The woman who built an empire on flawless imagery doesn't just fear scandal. She fears being the last to know. Then there's the money. Jay-Z's net worth is estimated at $2.5 billion, built on music, beverage deals, and his partnership with the NFL. But the real value isn't in the numbers, it's perception. Roc Nation's brand depends on Jay-Z as the self-made billionaire who transcended hip-hop. But what happens when that image turns into just another legal filing? Industry sources say the NFL is already exploring contingency plans in case 50 Cent's documentary forces their hand. If Jay-Z becomes linked to Diddy's alleged culture of silence, the league may distance itself entirely. The cease and desists, 8-figure settlement offers, and threats against 50 Cent's production company aren't about justice, they're about buying time. But the storm isn't passing. It's growing. Because 50 Cent isn't just targeting Jay-Z, he's targeting the entire system that protected figures like Diddy. And that's where the Epstein files come in again. According to people who claim to have seen early cuts, the implication isn't that Jay-Z committed acts, it's that he was present, knew, benefited, and stayed silent. And that kind of implication doesn't disappear with a lawsuit. If Solange speaks, it won't just affect Jay-Z's past, it could affect Beyoncé's legacy too.
I think you gotta be a little crazy to be successful.
Right.
And that's what 50 is. 50's really crazy. He'll say I'm crazy, but he's crazy.
Right.
The timing matters. Diddy's trial starts in May. The Super Bowl is in February. 50 Cent's documentary could drop any time between. That's not coincidence, it's a countdown. If it releases before the Super Bowl, the NFL must respond. If before the trial, prosecutors gain attention. If after, the fallout lands in an already hostile media climate. Jay-Z's team knows this. The legal threats aren't just about 50 Cent, they're a warning to anyone considering speaking. But here's what they may be missing. 50 Cent built his career on conflict and comeback. This time he says it's about legacy. Because this isn't just about Jay-Z versus 50 Cent. It's about who controls the narrative in hip-hop. For years, the industry operated on one rule: if you're big enough, you're untouchable. Diddy is jailed. Harvey Weinstein is imprisoned. Now Jay-Z's name appears in the same conversations. The difference? Jay-Z built a brand on survival and reinvention. But this time the opponent isn't another rapper, it's a media campaign built on exposing secrets. The real battle isn't in court. It's in the editing room.
Attention to the music to understand that there's a problem getting ready to take place.
Are you and Game, you think your relationship is repairable?
I don't know what really caused it, big. So, I'm not.
The final piece is the reaction, or lack of it, from the people who matter. Beyoncé hasn't spoken. Solange hasn't either. But silence isn't neutral. It's strategic. Right now, the only people talking are those with nothing to lose. Because if Beyoncé decides Jay-Z has become a liability rather than an asset, the documentary won't matter. The marriage ends, the brand collapses, and the narrative controller becomes the cautionary tale.
but I've liked Jay-Z a great deal. I've never liked, like there are people who do things because they know they can, and that's it had that bully mentality. There are people that do things that know they can. And here's the thing, it isn't whether you believe that Diddy did it or not, it's the silence from the people who work with him.
So here's where things stand. A dropped lawsuit that won't stay buried. A documentary that may or may not exist. A trial months away but already casting a shadow. And a marriage tested like never before. The recording was the first domino. The AI meme the second. The Epstein files the third. Now the question isn't whether more dominoes will fall, it's how much they'll bring down. Jay-Z's team can threaten, sue, settle, and attempt to bury the story. But the genie doesn't go back into the bottle, not this time. Not when the person holding the camera has waited years. Not when silent voices might speak. And not when the industry that protected powerful men is realizing the rules have changed.
What's the first sucker move that he pulled in your opinion?
Wow, I got a string of them, but look at me in my face, right? During my trial, look at me in my face telling me, yo, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. And I never see him again.
So, here's where we are. A dropped lawsuit that won't stay dropped. A documentary that may or may not exist. A trial that's months away but already casting a shadow. And a marriage that's been tested before, but never like this. The recording was just the first domino. The AI meme was the second. The Epstein files were the third. Now the question isn't whether more dominoes will fall, it's how far they'll take everything down with them. Because Jay-Z's team can threaten all they want. They can sue. They can settle. They can try to bury this the way they've buried everything else. But the genie doesn't go back into the bottle, not this time. Not when the man holding the camera has spent his whole life waiting for this moment. Not when the women who've stayed silent might finally decide to speak. And not when the industry that protected men like Jay-Z for decades is suddenly realizing the rules have changed. That leaves the questions no one is answering yet. How much did Beyonce really know? What's in Solange's tell-all that has Jay-Z's team so worried? Is 50 Cent's documentary real, or is the threat alone enough to force Jay-Z into a mistake? And when Diddy's trial starts in May, will Jay-Z's name be read aloud in a courtroom, or will his team find a way to keep it buried one last time? One thing's for sure, this isn't ending with a settlement or a deleted post. It's ending with someone's empire in ruins. The only question is whose. So what do you think? Is Jay-Z about to lose everything, or is he still one move ahead? And if Beyonce walks away, does the whole thing collapse, or was she the one holding it up all along? Drop your theories in the comments. This one's far from over. Stay tuned.